Hi, this is Miss Liz from Finkelstein Memorial Library coming to you with another book talk. This time it is on YA or young adult books, 5 books that I am recommending. And the first one is called The Mall by McCafferty. The Mall takes place at Pineville Mall. Pineville is a fictional town in South Jersey in 1991. The main character is Cassandra or Cassie Worthy, who is looking forward to getting a summer job at America's Best Cookie, otherwise known as ABC, with her boyfriend Troy, and basically planning out their future, which means going to colleges in this New York City. It's all part of the plan. However, it all sours when Troy picks her up to go to the mall, he for his job at ABC, and she's trying to get a job there, when she finds out that he is going out with Helen behind her back. That's a really rude awakening. Cassie is so upset that she tries to drown herself in the mall's wishing well, but Gia Bellarosa stops her just in time. Gia offers her a job as bookkeeper at Bella Rosa, her high-priced clothing salon with a faithful following. Gia's daughter Drea, whom Cassie used to be best friends with in middle school, also works there as a salesperson, and somehow they start being friendly again. Drea is known for her beauty and daring fashion sense, and gives Cassie a nerdy girl to hot transformation to get revenge on her ex Troy. Drea also enlists Cassie on a treasure hunt in the mall because she heard that former owners of the arcade left a secret stash of money somewhere in the mall, and she's got to find it. Cassie does make Troy jealous, but things don't always work out as planned. Plus, she runs into a guy at the Sam Goody record store who makes fun of her as just another airhead or mall rat. So she calls him Sam Goody to mock him. It turns out he is sort of a rebel in his own right, as is Cassie, and they both share the same love of music. They love the group The Smiths, as opposed to the top 40 pop stuff that was popular then. And plus, they love anarchy. They end up getting along quite well. As if this is not enough, Cassie has to contend with her parents' surprise divorce, plus other teen issues of finding an unexpected romance and then having to drop everything to go to school in the fall. I enjoyed them all because it brought back a lot of my teen memories, and I like the feel of the characters. Though it's more of a light read, it has heart. Moving on to our next book, which is called Fear of Missing Out by Kate McGovern. 16-year-old Astrid Ayeroff has a form of brain cancer called astrocytoma that causes a star-shaped tumor to form near her brainstem. Though she was in remission, 2 years later the cancer comes back, and Astrid becomes convinced that she won't beat the disease this time. Her parents are divorced, so she lives with her mom and younger brother Liam in Boston, while her dad decided to move off the grid and live on a commune in Arizona. Astrid loves to virtual travel, having come across the Rough Guide to Japan in the chemo lounge during her first tumor, and she's a science geek, having done an internship with her cancer doctor, Dr. Klein. She also wants to be an astrophysicist, though she doesn't know if she'll live to get that chance. After getting Dr. Klein's bad news that there's not much more to do as far as treatment, except try to get into a clinical trial, she attends a brain symposium at which her doctor is one of the speakers. However, she ends up at a table for the American Institute for Cryonics Research, talks to the doctor about it, and though it's a long shot, gets the idea in her head that even after she dies, her body may still be able to be revived or brought to life. Though her mom and Astrid's boyfriend Mohit feel Astrid should pin her hopes on the clinical trial, only her best friend Chloe seems to feel that whatever Astrid wants to do, even if she wants to give up fighting the cancer, it is up to her. So Astrid, Mohit, and Chloe go on a cross-country trip to see if cryopreservation would help her. I enjoyed Astrid's character, her family dynamic, her morbid humor, and as her symptoms get worse, from eyesight blurriness to headaches, to having trouble managing her pain with medication even after she could before, we realize that after all, her life is her choice, and we are enriched for going along with her story. Now we're moving on to a book that is also pretty serious. This one is called Kent State by Deborah Wiles. This powerful book is about a historic event that happened on May 4th, 1970 at Kent State University in Ohio, almost 51 years ago. On the Kent State campus, while students were protesting the Vietnam War, events escalated, including a building catching on fire. The National Guardsmen were called in, and 4 students were shot and killed, and 9 were wounded. This event is always described as one of the darkest moments in our American history, and the author treats the topic in a way that makes it accessible to teens. The book is written in a sort of stream of consciousness prose, basically a novel in verse. There isn't an identifiable character narrating the story, but rather there are 3 or 4 narrators with as many different points of view. The narrators remember the students by name who were killed: Allison, Bill, Sandy, and Jeff, and we learn that 2 of them were actually protesting, while the other 2 were just walking by. To this day, there are still arguments of what really happened that day. This may be a short book, but it is a powerful one, still relevant to the protest events of today. Our 4th book is called Rikers High by Paul Volponi. At only 17 years of age, Martin Stokes is arrested and jailed for something he didn't mean to do, and 5 months later, he is still in prison on Rikers Island. Just when things couldn't get worse, Martin gets caught in a fight and is slashed in the face. Scarred forever, there's one positive thing that comes from the attack, which is that he is transferred to a different part of Rikers where inmates must attend high school. There he meets a teacher who gives him hope, but before he can help himself, he gets obsessed with getting revenge on his attackers. The author of this book was actually a teacher for 6 years on Rikers Island and witnessed firsthand most of the incidents he wrote about in the book. This is a very good book about what happens to a lot of teens in prison and the unjustness of their situations. Our last book is a much lighter topic. It's called Just a Boy and a Girl in a Little Canoe by Sarah Mlynowski. Popular author Sarah Mlynowski brings us a teen summer romance just in time for literally the summer. Sam Rosenspan, age 19, starts the summer as a counselor at Camp Blue Springs, not by choice, but as the only other option because her boyfriend Eli ditched her for a European backpacking trip with his cousin Yosef, who just got out of the Israeli army and wanted to travel. The last time she was at Camp Blue Springs, she was an 11-year-old camper who swore she would never go back there because some of the girls bullied her. As soon as she gets to camp, she is not looking forward to the next 7 weeks until she meets Gavin Lawblow, the camp's sailing instructor, who was the cool guy when they were 11 and is the hot guy now. Sam experiences reunions with the other counselors who all went to the camp with her way back when. Cattiness and getting along with the other girls and watching over the kids who are the actual campers. Sam manages to text Eli and manages to call and talk to him once briefly, but as you might guess, the cell reception at camp is spotty, and she gets tempted by Gavin, even though he has a girlfriend. Sam sees internet evidence that Eli might not be faithful, and she's seriously deciding on a fling with Gavin. So will they or won't they? Try this light, entertaining read and find out. So I hope you've enjoyed my recommendations for 5 young adult books at Finkelstein Memorial Library. Check them out, enjoy, and we have loads of other books for you to check out. Take care and see you soon. Bye.